everyone! In this video we'll be doing some revision of the statistics work you've been working on. It will help you for the revision exercise, and I'm also just going to be mentioning some of the problems that you guys struggled with so we can work through them, see how to do them, and you know how to do them in the future. So in this video we're going to be looking at three main problems. So the first problem is just going to be a good one to revise all the concepts we've used during this time. Then I'm going to do one with a frequency table where just some interpretation, and the last one I'm going to do a ratio question because I know a number of you have struggled and maybe you just need a reminder because it has been about a year since we looked at ratios last. The first question we're going to look at is quite similar to the first question in a revision exercise. We're told that the number of grade 9s who attend general fitness classes each week are recorded. So we have these values, the number of learners below. We've got 22, 28, X, 35, 35, 39, and 45. Okay, so the first thing we can do is we can count how many weeks they recorded it for, which if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's something we can just keep in mind that it was 7 weeks that they recorded it for. Okay, we're also told that the average number each week is 36. Okay, so let's see what they want us to calculate, then we can see what we need to work with. So the first thing we need to calculate is the mean. Okay, so the mean, they're often going to tell you it's the same as the average, which is quite nice because that means that they've actually given us the answer here. So the mean or the average is equal to 36, which is what they tell us here. Okay, the next thing they ask us is what is X. Now X is one of these values up here in our data. So it looks a bit weird because usually we are asked to calculate the mean and we are given all the data, but in this case we are given the mean and we are asked to calculate the last data thing. So what we were doing here is you look at, okay, well we've got the mean, we know the mean, okay, we know the mean is equal to the sum of all the values over the number of values. Okay, so what we can actually do here is we can say, well, we're going to work backwards. So we've got the sum. So the sum of all the values is this 22 plus 28 plus X plus 35 plus 35 plus 39 plus 45. Okay, so that's our sum. The number of the values is what we calculated here, 7 weeks. So we would say over 7. And we know that the mean is equal to 36, so we set it equal to 36. And then it's just a basic thing of we solve for this X in here. Okay, so how we do that, first off, we take the 7 across, or we multiply by 7 on that side, multiply by 7 on that side, so that cancels that 7, and that means we've got this whole sum up here, which is actually 204 plus X, is equal to 36 times 7. Okay, then we just calculate 36 times 7 is 252, and this side is still 204 plus X, and then we just simply take this 204 across, so we're going to get 252 minus 204, and on the other side we've just got X. So we actually find that X is equal to 48. Okay, so that's how we do it when we're given the mean and we ask to work backwards to find some of the data. So I'm going to just erase this, just pause it if you need to copy it over, and then we can carry on with the rest of the questions. Okay, so I've filled in there, X is equal to 48. I've put it here at the end just so that we know, okay, it's in arranged order, the data is all arranged. The next question is we need to find the median. Now the median is also known as the middle value, okay? And I know there's a lot of formulas. I'm just going to show you how I work through this. So the median, we've got our arranged data and we look, okay, we need the middle value. So in this case, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values. Okay, so if we're going to, I'm just going to take this X away actually. So we can take that away. We've got our 48 at the end. Okay, so the median, we're going to count. Okay, 1, 2, 3 is 35. So we can draw a line there. If we count from the side, we've got 1, 2, 3 is that side. So on either side, we've got 3 on the side. Okay, so that is 3 there. We've got 3 on that side. And so 35 must be in the middle. So in this case, when it's an odd number, it's quite easy to find the middle. And so our median is the middle value, and it is 35 in this case. So 35 is our median. And then our mode, the mode is the number that appears the most. Okay, so mode is the same as most. In this case, we've only got one number that repeats, and that's 35 again, because we've got two 35s. Okay, so there were 2 weeks in which there were 35 pupils that attended this general fitness. And so our median is also equal to 35. And now the range is always the biggest value minus the smallest. I'm just going to jot that down quick. Okay, in this case, our biggest value is the x that we calculated, which is 48, and our smallest value is 22. And so we just do range 48 minus 22 is 26. Okay, so that's how you answer a question like that, where you are given the mean, you are given the data, but you're not giving all of the values, and you have to actually work backwards, manipulate your mean equation a little bit, and then get all the rest of the values. So usually you would try and calculate the x first, so that you have all the data that you need to do the rest of the questions. The next question we're going to look at is a frequency table question. It's quite a short one, but it is something that a few of you struggled with, so I just wanted to quickly revise it. So let's say we consider how many hours different teenagers spend on TikTok each day. And then we got a frequency table with the number of hours. So for example, if a teenager spends 0 hours of their day on TikTok, then they are recorded in that frequency column. Okay, so what we do is we need to find out how many teenagers did we actually consider in this table. Okay, so what a lot of students that I've seen, what they do is they actually accidentally count the number of hours here, and they would say, okay, well that's we've got 7 hours maximum, so that is your number of teenagers. Okay, but that's actually not quite right. What we need to do for these type of questions is realize that the frequency is actually the number of teenagers. So we've got 3 teenagers that watch 0 hours. And then we've got another 7 teenagers that watch 1 hour of TikTok per day. We've got another 2 that watch 2 hours per day, and so on. And so you just keep on adding all your teenagers in the frequency column. So we've got 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0. Okay, and then you add that up, and that's actually how many teenagers you get. So that's just a quick one, but just to remember that that's how you get the number of teenagers or marks or tests or anything from a frequency table. The last type of question I want to look at today is a ratio question. Okay, so this is something that I think you did during grade 8. I've heard a number of you telling me that like it's been a while since you've done it, so I just wanted to revise it quickly just so you remember, because it's quite simple once you know what you're doing. Okay, so we say a farmer has 120 animals. The ratio of cows to chickens is 1 to 5. How many chickens does he have? Okay, so the first thing that you do with this type of question is you say, okay, well, we've got a ratio of 1 to 5. Okay, that means that we've got 1 plus 5 equals 6 parts. Okay, so we've got 6 parts. Okay, so the 120, we divide it into 6 parts first. Okay, that's the first step. Divide it into 6 parts, and we get 120 divided by 6 is 20. Okay, that's good news, we've got that part. The next step is we've got our 6 parts, and the farmer wants to know how many chickens does he have, and also obviously then how many cows does he have. So if we look at the ratio, we've got 1 to 5, and that is cows to chickens. Okay, so all we do is we times this part here that we got. Okay, that's 1 part. So for the cows, we have 1 part. So 1 part is equal to 1 times 20, which is equal to 20 cows. For the chickens, on the other hand, we have 5 parts. So we've got 5 times 20 parts, which is equal to 100 chickens. Okay, so this is the method that you follow for any ratio question. You first find, okay, how many parts are we looking for? So in this case, we were looking for 6 parts because we had 1 and 5. Then you say, okay, when we divide the total number into parts, what do we get? And then you just multiply it. Okay, well, there's 5 parts of chicken, so 5 parts times the number of parts, or 1 part of cow, so 1 part times the number in a part. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay, so that's just a few problems that I've detected when I was working through your work and some things that might help you for the revision exercise. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do or any other videos you would like me to make.